I'm back. Once again, I'm Randy Wismer here with Erin Reilly of Theater Horizon. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So, who are you in Theater Horizon?
I am the person who originally helped to found Theater Horizon, and now my job as the artistic director is to select the shows we present each year, hire all the actors, and oversee the staff.
All right. So, how did you get into theater?
Well, my first theater experiences were here at Norristown High School when I was a student in the Summer Consortium for the Arts program. And kids from King of Prussia, Plymouth Meeting, and Norristown would come together every summer and put on musicals. Back in those days, we performed them right here on the Norristown High School stage.
What brought you to, or what made you create Theater Horizon?
Well, my friends and I have been getting together in the summer times when we were home from college, and we have been putting on shows in parks and coffee shops, and we decided we wanted to be able to do bigger shows for larger audiences. So we incorporated, which is what you do when you want to make an official company, and that was back in 2005. So we've been in existence for 12 years.
Wow. And what is your mission statement for Theater Horizon?
Theater Horizon uses theater to create a community of people in which each member is encouraged to grow. So the idea being that when you come to Theater Horizon to see a show, we hope you learn something new. We hope you leave a little bit changed.
All right. What shows are running right now?
So right now we have a play called White. It is a comedy by a Philadelphia-based playwright named James Imes, and it runs until May 28th over at our theater, which is in the old Bell Telephone building at 401 DeKalb Street. So the play is about a white male artist who wants to get his paintings in a fancy art museum. However, the art museum says, we have enough white guys' paintings in our museum. We want more diversity. So sorry, we can't have your paintings in our museum. So he decides to hire a black actress to pretend to be him and to pretend to be the person who made these paintings. But as the days go on, she gets more and more into the role. And so his scheme sort of spirals out of control in a way that asks some really interesting questions about race, identity, gender, and power and privilege in America.
And what programs do you have at Theater Horizon?
Well, we do 3 plays or musicals a year. So those shows are open to the public. They usually run for about a month. And tickets to our plays are totally free for Norristown residents. Anybody who comes to the box office and says, you know, I live in Norristown, you can get a free ticket as long as the show is not sold out. So in addition to our plays, we also do education programs for kids. We do acting classes, we do summer camps. Some of our acting classes are held there in our Theater Horizon location in the old Bell Telephone building. A lot of our programs for kids are summer camps. So for instance, this summer there will be drama camps for kids starting at 9 a.m. in the morning, going till 3 in the afternoon. And there's one in West Norriton. Sometimes we run some in East Norriton. And parents or families can find out information about that on our website. And the kids in those camps learn how to write their own play and then how to perform it.
And the acting classes, are those for kids or are those for anybody?
The acting classes are for kids. We typically do classes for ages 5 to about 12. We also have a special program many Saturday mornings for people on the autism spectrum. That class is a drama class. It's been running for 10 years now, and we've served over 400 students with autism. We use acting games to create opportunities for socialization and to help strengthen students' communication skills. And it's a really fun class. The younger kids, ages 10 to 16, do acting games. The older students, ages 17 to 30, actually write their own plays in that class. So for anybody you know on the autism spectrum who has an interest in script writing, TV, theater, film, this is the class for them.
So you guys are you have a good relationship with Norristown.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about the arts in Norristown?
I think the arts in Norristown are booming. There are multiple places you can see live performance, from Theater Horizon on DeKalb Street to the Center Theater, which is also located on DeKalb Street, to the Barn Playhouse. There are regular concerts held on the second Saturday of every month at August Moon Restaurant. Typically, those are jazz concerts. I think the cover is only like $10. So if you're a jazz lover, you can go over to August Moon on a second Saturday night and hear great music. There are also live music performances frequently at Five Saints Distillery on Main and DeKalb Streets. And then, of course, there's the Community Arts Center, ACPA, over on Hawes Avenue, where students can take classes in dance, drawing, painting. So for anybody who is a budding artist or has an interest, there are certainly many places where young people can get some kind of training, and where somebody looking for a fun, entertaining night out can go to see a show. There's also the Greater Norristown Arts League, which is for adults who enjoy painting.
So why do kids need the arts?
Well, I think that the arts, in a certain way, combat screen time for kids. You know, in the future, the skills that people most need to have are the ability to think creatively and work together in teams collaboratively. And screens are very siloed, solo activities typically. So what the arts do, especially theater, is give children the opportunity to interact with one another, to look up, to connect, to be creative in a teamwork environment. And I really think that theater is creating the creative citizens of the future that are going to help solve some of our world's biggest challenges. So that's what the arts do.
So a lot of times when people get older, they kind of grow out of stuff like that. But why do you think it's important for adults to keep the arts in their lives?
Well, back when I used to teach acting at Montgomery County Community College, the oldest student in my Theater 101 class was a lady named Artilia Brown, and she was certainly a senior citizen. And Artilia told me, I try to learn one new thing every single day, and that keeps me young. I think that's a good mantra to live by. And for anybody who feels stuck at a certain place in their life, you know, get involved with the arts in some way. Go see a show, volunteer at Theater Horizon, volunteer at the Barn Playhouse, you know, take a painting class at the Greater Norristown Arts League. These are ways to widen your horizons.
How is theater different than other art forms?
Well, theater is a very immediate art form. The experience of watching theater is incredibly immediate for those sitting in the audience. So at Theater Horizon, we try to perform plays that really pack an emotional punch. You know, for instance, White, this comedy, is extremely funny. The audience rarely goes 5 minutes without bursting into laughter. And there are also really intense moments in the play that cause people to sit up and take notice and it stirs their heart. And I think that at the end of watching a show like White or any Theater Horizon show, your empathy reflex has been activated. You're ready to put yourself in the shoes of another person. And I find that right after people see a show, that's when they're most ready to take some kind of positive action in their world. The last show we did was set in a soup kitchen, And it was a very powerful play. And at the end of the show each night, we encouraged audience members to think about what they could do in their own lives and here in Norristown to support people who work in soup kitchens here, who are working extremely hard to make sure that anybody who is hungry gets access to the food that they and their families need. So when you see a show that's about a pressing social issue like hunger or homelessness or racism, prejudice, you come away from that show ready to do something, ready to make the world a better place. And I think that's a unique gift that theater can give to our community.
So is the impact of theater come from the emotional response from the audience or the content of the play?
Well, the two go hand in hand, right? So the content of the play needs to be provocative enough that you sit up and pay attention. And that's when your emotions start churning. There's also another part of this play, White, is that the central couple in the play is a gay couple. The characters' names are Gus and Tanner. And the play just shows a really beautiful depiction of the real struggles that this couple is going through, just like any heterosexual couple would go through. So, and at times we see them really, connecting with each other. At other times we see them arguing and disagreeing. That's the kind of stuff that relationships are made of. So, I think theater has a reflection to hold, or has the responsibility to be a reflection of the lives we are living now, and to get your heart going and get your brain churning so that you walk out of there ready to maybe make a change in your life.
How could I get involved in productions at Theater Horizon?
Theater Horizon needs volunteers. The company could not function without our wonderful volunteers who come and hand out programs before the show. Anybody who does that gets to see the show for free. Volunteers also help us with our mailings, with some of our office work. So all you need to do is email info@theaterhorizon.org or check us out at www.theaterhorizon.org and click the volunteer link.
All right. So you said that White is playing right now. Mm-hmm. What is that about again?
So White is a story about four people and how their lives collide and intersect when one of the characters, Gus, hires a black woman to pretend to be him, to pretend to be the artist who painted his paintings. And this play is actually inspired by true events that occurred a few years ago in New York City when a white male artist did just this and hired black female actors to pretend to be him. So the question of authenticity gets raised in the play, and as the black actress creates a persona for herself, the persona of an artist, we see her wrestling with trying to make sense of her identity as an African-American woman. And we don't always get to see the stories of African-American women front and center on stage. And her story, Vanessa, that's the name of the lead actress and the main character, her story is the central theme of the show. And on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we invite audience members to stick around for a post-show discussion where we talk about what did you just see? What was your reaction to the events of the play? What do you think about the identity of the black female woman? What are the kinds of stereotypes that women and men get subjected to? How could we maybe change those stereotypes? These are some of the questions that we bring up. We also touch on just very general principles of racism, white privilege, power dynamics in this country. At a time when our country is very divided on a lot of things, a provocative story like this gives us a chance to talk to each other as neighbors and maybe build some bridges of understanding.
is the discussion guided by the actors or the audience?
The discussion is actually led by two of our theater staffers. We worked with an organization called Training for Change, and they help facilitate conversations about race and privilege. So Training for Change gave us a template, and our staffers, sometimes it's me, sometimes it's others, lead the conversation, but typically most people in the audience participate and speak up during the discussion. So we have lively, rich conversations.
So when is the show playing?
So White runs from tonight all the way to May 28th, so this weekend and next weekend. And the show times are on Theater Horizon's website, www.theaterhorizon.org. And typically shows start around 7:30, 8 o'clock. You can come early, bring food or drinks to our lobby. It's a very open lobby with tables and seating. People will come and have dinner there before the show. You can buy drinks, and you can take your drinks into the theater once the show starts.
What's the runtime of this show?
The play is 90 minutes long.
Is there an intermission?
There's no intermission. It's a roller coaster ride.
And where can I get tickets?
You can get tickets online. You can call our box office at 610-283-2230. You can email ticket@theaterhorizon.org. And tickets run from about $15 up to $37. Tickets for Norristown residents are free. I think that covers it.
All right. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I hope we see some of you out at Theater Horizon to see White, and I hope that anybody who's interested can support or get involved with the arts in Norristown in general. This is a great artistic community.
All right. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you.
All right. This has been Erin Reilly on Theater Horizon.